Brothers and sisters, you're celebrating here 75 years of collisions, 75 years of accidents. Not every accident is a tragedy. Not every accident is a catastrophe. Not every accident is bad or evil or terrible or awful. Here, collisions happen. Collisions with grace.
Long before this parish had walls, it had resolve. Before it had heating, it had hearts that stayed. Families gathered in a long, curved hut at the edge of campus. Cold in the winter, hot in the summer. No polish, no promise of permanence. Just a people willing to begin. Faith didn't arrive here fully formed. It arrived like it always does, fragile, unfinished, and carried by ordinary hands.
We belonged to St. Francis Church, and my grandfather got in with Judge Sweeney and a few others, and they talked to the bishop, and they were in the planning of Christ the King. We were still having Mass at Edwards Hall, and my grandfather was original trustee, almost one, and my aunt, Helen Arnold Sandmeyer, she played the organ, the pump organ.
What they built at first could barely hold them. No cushioning beneath the pews, no insulation in the walls, just metal, wood, breath, and prayer. The space taught them its limits quickly. The echo of hymns against curved steel, the slow hush before communion, the way winter settled in the bones and stayed. And still, they came back. Week after week, season after season. Not because it was beautiful, not because it was easy, but because it was theirs. Children grew by inches between masses. Families learned each other's griefs. Names became familiar before faces did. They were not building a church yet. They were becoming one. And somewhere in those early years, quietly, without ceremony, a question began to grow. How will we ever fill this place? The question was never really about space. It was about trust. And trust grows slowly.
Christ the King impacted my faith journey by showing me that you don't have to be perfect all the time. You don't have to always say the right thing. You shouldn't be ashamed of your faith, no matter where you are.
All you have to do is come to Mass and listen to the homilies, listen to the music, listen to the people singing and participating. This is the place. That's why I'm still here.
By the early 1980s, the parish had grown, but growth without direction doesn't last. Leadership reshaped the ground beneath the parish. So did responsibility. Ownership replaced comfort. Participation replaced distance. This stopped being a place people visited and became a place they belonged. And belonging changes behavior.
When I came to Christ the King Parish, it was the first time in my priestly ministry I was full-time in the parish. In March of '81, I was made pastor. And I've never been in a parish full-time, but I think we can figure it out together. And so that's how it affected my ministry. It made me a parish priest. It made me a more pastoral person. And it was a fascinating 31 years.
Every parish has a voice. Some speak in speeches. Some speak in silence. Christ the King learned to speak in song, not as an ornament, not as a performance, but as prayer that moved through the room, and taught people how to breathe together. Music didn't simply accompany worship here. It shaped it. It disciplined listening. It carried grief. It taught joy its register. And slowly, the sound of the parish became inseparable from its soul.
The affirmation that I received from my ministry here at the parish has continued since the first weekend that I was here in a very, very profound way. The support I have felt for my writing is something I don't take for granted, because I know other writers who are working in parishes where there is not the same kind of support. People find out that the parish takes music seriously, and that is a big difference. It has been important here. It's a priority to those who have been in charge of the parish from the get-go, that good music is essential in a parish for the life of the place. Because of that, people are attracted to music that's working. They want to be part of it, they want to sing with it, they want to play instruments.
Time did what time always does. It carried some people forward. It carried others home. Some stayed for decades. Some arrived for a season and left changed. Children who once fidgeted in the pews now lift the bread and proclaim the word. Students who once slipped in quietly at night now carry faith into places no church wall can reach. The parish learned to feed more than itself, not only with food, but with listening, with showing up. What began as gathering became service, and service became identity.
If you're going to be part of the community, it doesn't have to be anything big. You give of your time and you give of your talent. So you give it a little bit wherever it can occur. Every little bit helps, and it contributes to your community.
There's so much life and vitality here, and it's just so comfortable. I feel like whatever I do, I'm contributing to something bigger. And the thing is, you can get involved as little or as much as you want here. And I think everything counts, whether it's greeting people at the door, whether it's donating money, whether it's, I don't know, you name it, and that's important.
Every parish reaches a moment when memory and momentum collide. One looks backward, one insists forward, and the temptation is always to preserve. But expansion is not always comfortable. It costs certainty. It disrupts routines. Faith never spreads by staying still. The church was meant to be restored. It was meant to be sent. 75 years in, this parish no longer measures itself by what it has built, but by what it is willing to give away. From a narrow hut to a wide horizon, from survival to surrender. Some of the hands that built this place are now gone, and others are just beginning to lift their own. The collisions continue, not with stone, not with time, but with grace. Still moving, still interrupting, still asking something more.
We have here a united parish family that feeds the hungry, comforts the grieving, welcomes strangers, opens the doors to students here on campus who come searching for meaning, searching to connect to the living God. We've given away millions of dollars together to help bring clothing and shelter and food and medicine to the least and last of our brothers and sisters all over the planet. We have ministers who lift up our prayers for the world in song and teach our children about Jesus and proclaim the word of God and place the bread of life into our hands at every Mass so that we can rise above and beyond our human nature and experience divine nature. We have young people discovering their vocations to serve the church. We have families growing in solidarity and faith, and a growing parish family where more and more people want to become part of our mission. That is what gain looks like. Not nostalgia for what was, but lives being changed here and now. An entire community moving closer to Jesus day by day, prayer by prayer.